with the Avanti Wellness podcast and YouTube channel. And I created this channel to be conversations about natural health and wellness, and it's still happening. But in the meantime, I share kind of what I'm up to while I'm rebounding, so I can talk about things that matter to me, and hopefully matter to some of you out there. I know that what I share is not going to be for everyone, but I'm hoping that for those who are like-minded, they'll be drawn and attracted to the conversation. So I just read the last chapter of this, What's Coming Next? A channeled guide to navigating the greatest shift of our time. And I want to read the final thoughts, the final paragraph from the author, and then we're going to get rebounding, okay? So for many of you, you know that there's a shift coming. A shift has been happening. They've been talking about this shift since before 2012. But I remember there was a big conversation about 2012. Everything's going to change, okay? So I'm going to read for you the last paragraph about how to navigate the upcoming changes that are coming to our earth, okay? The shift in consciousness is already happening, and as we move into higher and higher frequencies, we will be able to create our own experience of reality from that higher perspective. This is what we can look forward to. Increasingly, we will have the ability to remain within the freedom of your let me read that again. Increasingly, we will have the ability to remain within the freedom of your own exuding nature, and within the space of your own happiness. You create a world without friction. So what it's talking about is all these things that are happening in the world that are really uncomfortable to watch and are what feel like outside of our control, that you can create within you your own world with no friction in it. So you can experience a world of no friction, even though you're seeing friction happening out there. So I believe in this. I am about to do my rebounding, and I'm going to think about how I can work on my own life so that when things start to really change and we're going to get really uncomfortable with some of the changes, how can I not let that affect me in a negative way? Okay? So, hi, Ruth. I am late for work, so this is going to be quick. Alexa, give me a 5-minute timer.
5 minutes, starting now.
Okay. So basically, a couple years ago, I started another podcast, my very first podcast, called the Oneness Junkie Podcast. And I used to say, when we heal ourselves, we heal the world. And that's because you're healing the world within you. And that changes your frequency, and it changes the people that you attract in your life, and it changes the experience of your life and those around you because of who you are. You are creating your experience. And even if you think you're not, which is totally reasonable, I know a lot of people who don't believe they're creating their circumstances. The thing that's good to know is that you have the power to create yourself out of the circumstances that you find yourself in. So what does that mean? It's just a really empowering belief system that no matter what your circumstances are, you have the power to create something other than what you're experiencing if you don't like what you're experiencing. So when you understand that, it gives you so much more leverage. You can create freedom, a freedom where you don't have to live in fear. Fear of the future, fear of the unknown. That's the old paradigm. The new earth, the new world, the new paradigm that you can go into is to believe in the good, believe in yourself, believe in the possibilities, believe that life is meant to be good, believe that your life is meant to be good, and then work towards that foundation, work towards what that feels like, and you will create a new reality for yourself. I've done it many of times. It doesn't mean that your life is perfect and that there are no problems in your life. It just means that you can see the pathway that you are on with the intentions that you've had in the past, and you can see how those intentions created your current situation or your current reality. Once you understand that, you begin to navigate the world from a completely different paradigm, from a completely different perspective. That's probably a good word. So it's just a more empowering place to come from. So, with that said, there's always something to work on. There's always something to do. You're never gonna arrive. The journey is the journey. As long as you're alive, it's a journey. And then even after you're no longer alive, it's still a journey. It doesn't stop. So, that's what's on my mind this morning after reading that book. What's coming next? So, for all the people who have been prepping for years, and I actually know some people who have felt that there was something coming since like 2010. So, those people are right, but we just don't know when it's coming. But it definitely feels like it's coming sooner than later. So, listen to your gut, listen to your intuition. If you feel guided to go get some extra water, go get some extra water. If you decide you need a filter, go get an extra filter. Because these things might be harder to find in the future. So, not trying to scare anybody. I'm trying to empower you to be prepared. Be prepared for anything. If you want to have life be a little easier. And I have to go to work. Alexa, stop. So I've got to go. All right, see y'all soon. Have a good day. Gotta get to work. I'm running late. Bye.